Alan Wake is a third-person shooter thriller. The game focuses on Alan Wake, the man, as he fights back the forces of darkness to save his wife. The game is a classic, in every sense of the word. Alan Wake came out in 2010, so I played it 7 years too late. My cousin beat it at the time, when it came out, and I just never really got around to it. With it being on the list of backwards compatible games on Xbox One, I was on the brink of asking him if I could borrow it. I just beat Quantum Break not too long ago, and inside the case was a code for Alan Wake. The developer made both games, so they threw in Alan Wake as a kind gesture. I just got some other games out of the way first, so that way I can focus all my attention on this game. The enemies you fight in Alan Wake are people shrouded in darkness, named the Taken. The game never really makes it super clear, but if they want to kill you, just kill them first. Alan must use his flashlight, or any other light source he can, to eliminate the darkness from around them, which acts like some sort of shield, before he can kill them with one of his various weapons. A very unique idea and gameplay mechanic. Not only people are consumed by the darkness, also birds and random objects. The birds are a neat concept because you don't really need guns to kill them, you just use your flashlight or any other light-based weapon. I'll talk more about the random objects getting possessed a little bit later on. You have batteries for the flashlight, which you don't really need to use because the flashlight will recharge automatically. It will just do so very slowly. So if you have very little patience, or you're in a tough situation and need the light to shine a little bit longer, then pop those energizers in. And I'm not joking, they actually are Energizer brand batteries. Flashbangs act like a grenade type weapon. The road flare acts like a shield around you. No one will come close to you, and if they do, the darkness will start diminishing. The flare gun is basically a rocket launcher, seeing that you get barely any ammo for it in the game. It's the same as the flashbang, but has greater distance and a larger area of effect. One downside of the game is that it is very generous on how many supplies they give you. Roughly every 3 waves of enemies is a checkpoint, with more often than not, a red supply box filled with goodies. The only thing missing from these goodie boxes are flare gun ammo and flashbangs, but always a very healthy amount of batteries and ammo for your shotgun and pistol. You get to feel safe, knowing that you have all these resources on you, just for the game to take it all away by the time the next episode begins. Before I mention that random objects get possessed, trust me, it is as stupid as it sounds, in most cases. The first time this is brought up is on a bridge, where you are basically trapped, when all of a sudden, barrels, tires, and other random crap starts floating around and flinging themselves at you. Thank you, Remedy Entertainment, for not having this a larger part of the game. This would really lower my thoughts on my experience overall. It is really annoying to have to dodge all this trash being thrown at you, but you kind of have to defeat them because they are relentless. Since the darkness takes too long to eliminate from these objects, I usually try to run off the bridge and escape, but I would get chased and die. Overall, a super annoying and very lazy idea to bring in the game. I did say it's as stupid as it sounds in most cases. The way they brought it to the next level is having mini boss fights with large vehicles. A gate is locked and you have to open it, whilst getting attacked by the Taken and a possessed bulldozer. Yes, a bulldozer. This made you have to think on your toes. Since it can only move forward and backwards, that means you have to dodge it and shine the light on it while it repositions to run at you again. This may sound stupid, but it's actually really cool. It adds another dynamic to the gameplay. But fridges and wire spools being flung at you is just a horrible idea that didn't really play out. The game is really fast most of the time. What I mean by that is that by the time you see an enemy, they're already too close for comfort. While you deal with that enemy, there are 2 more right behind you, which usually results in getting slapped by one of their sharp objects. Dodge is on the left bumper. You tap it to dodge, or you hold it down to sprint. In a pinch where you might want Alan Wake to dodge, it's easy to accidentally hold down the button for a hair too long just to have him sprint for half a second. Feels like the game cheats you sometimes into taking unnecessary damage, but on the other hand, it feels like it's your fault. The enemies most of the time are very easy to defeat, so if you get overrun, it's clearly your fault, right? Actually, it is. You may be in a situation where there are 3 small guys and 2 big ones. The big ones are slower, but have more health. You have little to no time to stop and think how to get the upper hand. The game tries to help you by giving you 2 or 3 seconds of slow-mo to show you where the closest enemy is. Just enough time to look at your surroundings and plan your next move. The slow-mo got tiring as I got more experienced, but the game was trying to help me and I respect that. Alan also runs out of stamina very fast, and I mean very fast. The take can run just as quick as you do, so when lining up shots, 2 or 3 of them are all over you. This usually resulted in me popping a road flare to give myself some breathing room. You can look at the stamina problem from the other perspective too. If you can run faster than the Taken and have more stamina, that means you can run 30 feet away, turn around, pick everyone off before they even get close to you, making the game significantly less like a thriller and more of an average third-person shooter. If you haven't played Alan Wake yet, do yourself a favor and play it. You will enjoy it, I guarantee that much. Remedy Entertainment stumbled onto a jewel when they created Alan Wake. So far, there is very little hope of a sequel on the horizon. Since Alan Wake, they have created Quantum Break. Still a great game, just not as good as Alan Wake. They're making a story mode for an FPS called Crossfire 2 and working on an unannounced project of their own. I, personally, would be interested to see a sequel go the way of survival horror. A tighter third-person camera in smaller enclosed areas with less enemies and less resources would be really interesting. Imagine having a man with an axe, protected by darkness, haunting you through a dark house. You have no flashlight, but you have to use the environment to make him vulnerable. A cool direction I would like the series to go eventually, but as usual, I'm just thinking out loud.
We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.